10 interesting and slightly scary facts about the dark web. The internet is probably the most important piece of technology on the planet today. Nearly everything runs off of it. However, what we see on a daily basis is only a small portion of what actually exists. We are used to seeing things like Google, Facebook, but that only exists on the smallest portion of the internet known as the surface web. There exists a much more hidden area of the web, a place we do not see often that can be scary and even dangerous at times. Welcome to Facts Hut, and today we're counting down our list of 10 most interesting and slightly scary facts about the dark web. Before we start though, be sure you have clicked on the subscribe button. Also, we are coming out with new videos all the time, so be sure you click the bell and have your notifications turned on. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. The deep and dark webs are the majority of the internet. Regular parts of the internet, or the surface web, actually makes up a very small percentage of the internet, only 4%. Everything else is either the deep web or the dark web. The deep web is the place of the web where you will find servers for governments, colleges, businesses, anything that is hidden and not shown on conventional search engines. The dark web is the subset of the deep web which is intentionally hidden. It is here where the shadiest of people lurk. They are drawn here by the anonymity of the dark web, which touts itself as being untraceable. The dark web is a hotbed for criminal activity. The virtually untraceable nature of the dark web makes it a very popular place for criminals of all sorts. It's pretty much like the black market of the internet. There are entire websites dedicated to selling and trading some of the most illicit substances, content, hardware, and information available. Think about this as well. With there being so many illegal websites, it is almost a guarantee that you will find scattered among them dummy sites. Here, simply visiting will trigger a virus to be sent to your computer, giving a hacker access to your personal information, your webcam, your keystrokes, or your bank account. They count on the fact that people were there for illegal reasons anyways. What are they going to do? Go to the police? It is possible to purchase illegal weapons on the dark net. There are so many arguments being made these days about the legality of guns and firearms. Some say they should be outlawed, while others will defend their ownership. Whether they're made illegal or left to be legal, one thing is for sure: criminals do not follow the law and will get guns regardless. On the dark web, anyone can buy guns with no background checks or anything. You may think that's no big deal. However, it is a very big deal when you consider that many of these firearms are things like automatic rifles, grenades, bazookas, and other military-grade weapons. That's right. Regular people are able to look on the dark web and purchase weapons that you would typically find used by soldiers during times of war. The chosen currency for the dark web is Bitcoin. With anonymity being of the most importance, it stands to reason that the exchange of goods and services be through a currency that is just as anonymous. Therefore, everything that you see on there is bought and sold using Bitcoin. As you've probably heard, Bitcoin is the digital currency that is expected to take over the world's economy in the years to come. It is clear to see since the price of Bitcoin is incredibly high, so that means a couple of things. First, conducting illegal transactions will not only be much easier, it will become much more common. Some of the most common illegal items sold are stolen identities. Have you ever wondered why so many people seem to have their identity stolen, yet very few people, if any, ever get convicted of those crimes? That's because once a thief has your information, they usually don't turn around and go on shopping sprees. They send it to someone on the dark web. It is that person who will use it however they want. It is crazy how easily the people responsible are hardly ever caught. That's because when they sell the information by way of anonymous currency, there is no telling who is buying it or where they are using the stolen info. Whether it is your credit card info, social security number, or banking info, it can be traded and sold in a number of different countries, many of which are ill-equipped to handle such crimes. People can hire hitmen on the dark web. There have been plenty of stories in the news about people hiring hitmen to get rid of someone. You can always find someone to do it in person, but the reason we usually hear about it is because so many of these in-person hitmen are actually detectives working with law enforcement. That's what makes the dark web so attractive to those who need someone taken care of. These hitmen come in a number of different forms instead of just murder. You can have someone commit fraud against another person, set someone up for a crime, kidnap someone, or any other number of terrible things. The basic rule of the dark web is that if you can imagine it, there is probably a service that offers it, for a price. The dark web is not as anonymous as people think. As you have already heard us discuss, the dark web is popular because it is touted as being anonymous. However, it may not be as anonymous as one may think. The fact that we are openly talking about serious crimes happening on this network should make you think. If we know about it, the government definitely knows about it. So there would be agencies tasked to bring these groups down as well. Such was the case in 2013. The FBI invaded a deep website called Freedom Hosting by infecting it with malware. This program revealed the IP address of any visitors. That way, if anything illegal went on, they would go in to make the arrest. And one more sobering thought about this: if law enforcement can trace people, so can criminals. There are plenty of stories of people who are tracked by hackers based on their IP address. Serious sex offenders lurk in every corner of the dark web. Even the risk of a raid by FBI or being tracked by online vigilantes doesn't deter some of the worst people from making their presence known. Sex offenders and child pornographers can find things they like on the deep web. However, they are also some of the most frequently apprehended groups of people on the dark web as well. It's sadly one of the most unfortunate facts about the dark web. People have almost made it a fad to feature some of the most depraved and sadistic content imaginable. Many times that includes some of the more illicit types of sexual content. The dark web is also a haven for people who sell evil spirits. You definitely heard that right. There are certain genres of goods for sale that include items of the occult and even forsaken spirits. Some of these items are known as diebuck boxes, which are mysterious chests or boxes that supposedly have demons trapped inside. Many various YouTube video creators have made videos in which they open these haunted boxes. Other items that have been found for sale are the spirits of children. In Thailand and other Eastern countries, people believe voodoo masters can capture the spirits of children which have either been aborted or miscarried and make them do their bidding. However, the people buying these spirits do not have evil intent. Rather, they're wanting the spirits to make their life better. Before we get to number 1, please remember that this video is meant for educational purposes only, and not to encourage any sort of illegal or risky activity. The responsibility of navigating the web lies on you. Now on to number 1. The US government actually runs the dark web. Who would have thought that the one place on the internet that is home to numerous illegal activities is actually backed by the United States government? But it's true. The software program that makes the dark web possible, known as the Onion Router, is sponsored by the United States Department of State Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor. The obvious question in all of this is how it works when government-run institutions like the FBI are supposed to catch criminals, while that same government supports the very platform on which they operate. That question has yet to be answered. Seems quite suspicious to us. Do you agree with our list? What are some of the scariest things about the dark web to you? Let us know in the comments. Also, be sure to check out some of our previous videos for more great content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.